Hello and welcome back. I'm going to move this over my ear because then I can hear things stand.
That's great.
I'm woefully unprepared right now and I sincerely apologize. So, our first map is coming very shortly. It's going to be Train.
Speaking of shortly, I'm gonna raise my chair a little bit because I
This
realized
is an
I was.
ongoing, this is an ongoing saga with
It's
you,
an issue. It's an ongoing
It's
issue.
an
Yeah.
ongoing saga with you. Now, if you remember, we had one season of FACEIT League where it was when Train was new. And NIP basically picked Train every single map they could. They just picked Train. It's like, okay, we're going to play all our maps on Train and become experts at Train. Now, we're seeing a lot of Train in North America. It's almost become a Dust 2, basically, in North America in terms of frequency, I would say. Don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at the statistics. But I'm surprised that we haven't seen double Train in one of these matches yet. Bearing in mind it's not a best of two, it's two best of ones. But we have Train and then Overpass between these two teams. So Optic are at home for Train and then they're away for Overpass. Although maybe when it's US versus US, we will see double Train. Because I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Maybe with Echo Fox, for example. But anyway, we have Train as the first map, the pick of Optic into Immortals. So that would say they're not afraid of Henny. He's only one man on a five-man team after all. I mean, we've seen Henny do a lot on Train, but we've also seen Mixwell do a lot on Train. But the question is, for me, can Tarik, assuming he will pick up the AWP before Mixwell, do a lot on Train as well?
I think at least on CT sides, I would expect to see more Mixwell. Or but as you say, it's I think an ongoing thing within the team. But one of the points of focus for me is Zeus on Immortals, because we spoke about the kind of qualities very briefly that he can bring to the team, and we're into the pistol round, so I'll wrap it up very quickly in saying that he often can anchor that B bomb site really well. And as the guy that you would expect maybe to be potentially the point to pick apart as maybe one of the weaker players individually, he really holds his own anchoring sites. So looking forward to seeing that. But Immortals will actually be on the T side first of all, as we can see, and they are playing out a very, very slow pistol round here. It's almost as though they expect some kind of overt aggression out of Optic on their CT side, but Optic are playing it safe and they're holding 4 men to the A-bomb site. Very smart way to handle it. You can have fast rotation towards B. If you look at the position of Stanislaw, he's very passive on B, allowing his teammates to rotate quickly as well by guarding that choke point through onto the B-bomb site. So a very safe opening from Optic, and Immortals, they've killed a lot of time. They've made sure there's no early aggression, but they can surely expect to move in and actually claim some map control now, because they've run out a lot of, well, they're running out of time at this point.
4 people still on the A site, but there must come a time when the clock gets down to a certain level and they have to have a read that it's B. 35 seconds left and there's still only one person B. Nobody seen towards Ivy either, so 30 seconds now. And Optic, I think, should be sending the men over towards the B-bomb site at this point. And indeed, Immortals make their way down. boltz will be eliminated. Stanislaw putting in good work here. Immortals trying to take the entire train yard, which will cause big problems for the CTs. Now Stanislaw goes down. Still a man advantage for Optic.
Yeah, not looking too shabby at all from Optic. Very calm, playing that retake very well. Just Henny left. He's got very limited amounts of health, so the bomb has been allowed to be planted, but the retake has gone very smoothly here for Optic. Henny's still trying to maybe throw a wrench into the works, but nothing to be done at that point. Rush gets the frag, and Optic will win the round. But importantly, Immortals will be with those AKs on the 3rd round. That's very nice. Some teams do decide to go for the set piece after the bomb is planted on round 1. On the T side for round 2 and get the nades in there, but Immortals, they're going to play it out with the AKs in round 3, and this will be more or less a formality. They should not be able to get too much damage done here. I think Optic would be very annoyed if that was to be the case.
Saw Fallen shoot a bird down Ivy the other day on the CT side, which reminded me of when the birds were solid, you could stand on them and get boosted through the map.
Good times.
That was always fun. So, Immortals not with the start they wanted, but the bomb has been planted. You can see the investment here is limited. Ooh, Mixwell's taken some damage. Double dink from Henny with the P250. The honest pistol. That's the bomb loss for the time being. Stanislaw covers the 6 as well, so Immortals may not try to retrieve that necessarily. And now they'll have little chance. So that's a formality out of the way. Money for the guns, and out come the guns for Immortals. How much utility will they have, though?
I wonder if they'll just go for a similar play as to what they showed on the pistol run, actually, where they just played a very, very slow start to things, just feel it out a little bit, see if Optic are going to have any pushes here or there. It is very early days, and Optic do have somewhat of an inherent disadvantage at the ranges, but at the same time, they have that kind of overwhelming amount of utility, which should kind of even up the fields, at least the early and mid round. And I do love rounds where the Ts realize, okay, the CTs, they need that utility. If we play it really slow and bait out their utility, eventually when we make the push, they won't be able to have counter grenades. That said, typically it seems like this is always going to happen, and you get the really aggressive round, very fast pace from Immortals on that T side as they try to push the front of the train yard. It's not really happening initially, but finally a couple kills will go their way, and Chaos will be raining in on that A bomb site, and Immortals are left with just 2 men at this point.
Mixwell in connector was playing around the smoke, around the bomb site. You can see zews maybe trying to go for the flank, but in the meantime, Henny gets taken down. That's the bomb drops around the E-box. And Mixwell's moving back into position around the bomb site. Zeus over towards main, and his assailant in Pop Dog has disappeared. 3 versus 1 for Zeus. 45 seconds left on the clock. Finds himself to 1 versus 1, but no fatal connection there. And that gives Optic time to maneuver, as you see Mixwell moving towards E-box now. But now life gets awkward for him. That's going to pull out the Pop Dog guy, because Mixwell's in no man's land at the moment. Zeus may be waiting for a teammate to save Mixwell around the E-box, but it will be Mixwell to prevail. 3 players surviving the first test for Optic. Will be a plus rather than a minus for their economy, just about. And Immortals back down to an eco. No plant in that round. Didn't really get close to the bomb site. Now, one thing I quite like there is Optic's aggressive response to the smoke grenades. On train, yesterday we saw some reaction smokes going into Pop Dog, but that was about it. But they had 2 players, Rush and Tarik, around the electric box, and I love that kind of response. Because you have the map control, and Immortals are forced to push through very tight checkpoints. It's
like Immortals might be thinking about just getting that really fast bomb plant on B. And the thing is, for Optic here, is that they can actually, there's some decisions to be made here, because you can allow the bomb to go down and just throw all your nades onto that very small, there's basically not any real cover in that area, so you can allow the Ts to move in there, you don't have to contest too heavily, and we will see actually a lot of frags made here by Optic as Immortals drop in onto the bomb plant, but the bomb does go down. Again, for Optic, I think they're going to be more concerned with keeping integrity in their own economy as to preventing, trying to overextend and prevent the bomb from being planted, and they only lose 1 man. They concede the bomb plant. I think both sides are happy with this result, and moving forwards as the loss bonus accrues for Immortals, and having that bomb plant as well. And they had almost no grenades, so they were just forced to try to go for the picks and just push in quickly. Now they're going to have way more options. We can see a double orb setup on the T side for Immortals, Henny and Felps. This will be very cool, actually.
Felps gets to the angle, blind though. I thought he might have killed somebody there, but alas, he had not. Rush and Tarik again playing close to main, and they've got a player around the connector area. They're looking for the engagements here. They're not going to sit around and wait for Immortals to do what they want to do. However, this is a problem when you're up against Henny. If you come to him, he is not likely to back off. Speaking of back off, Rush almost gets shot in the arse. As I think that's Jamaican slang, at least in London. The back off. 3 players in A for the CT side at the moment. Mixwell on the high ground looking into main. Looks like Optic are very focused on main. I think we mentioned yesterday how the early iterations of Train focused, the CTs focused around the A. It was a problem for them. People like Olaf Meister just charging into the A site. Then they started to get aggressive and smoke it off. Stanislaw with a free kill onto Zeus. Running out of players now are the CT side. Despite that kill, NAF goes down elsewhere pretty quickly. Bomb around the main area. Rush's position will be important in the next 40 seconds.
It's a cool situation here for Immortals having, I mean, they don't have the most time in the world, but having the picks that they do, it allows them to now have the avenues of attack that they want, and they can be confident that they can have very positive trading situations. The situation for Rush and Stanislaw is strong if the coordination's off for Immortals. But if Immortals coordinate this well, then there should be problems here for Rush and Stanislaw. Flash comes in, Stanislaw in a 1 versus 1. He's going to win that. However, the trade from Lucas, and that's what we're talking about here. The numbers advantage, the coordination, but there is all the skill. mixwell finds himself a great avenue of attack to take down 3 players. Beautiful stuff. And he's already on 10 frags. He's already kicking this off with a very nice pace, and he's got himself onto the AWP now, as has Tarik. So things swinging, really well in the favor of Optic early into this 2-map affair with these two teams.
Yeah, they're being very active on the CT side, and Rush's position made it nigh impossible for Immortals to plant the bomb, because neither side of the train was safe with mixwell in position. He didn't even let Rush get those final kills, despite Rush being in an arguably superior position to stop the bomb plant. 3K at the end there for mixwell. Very nice stuff indeed. Immortals going for the force buy. The Galil's starting to come out, showing the weaknesses in the Brazilian economy. That smoke will give zews some respite from the reticle of Tarik, who was ready and waiting. He's lost half his health somewhere, so he'll need to be careful. Looking around the corner of the smoke, and indeed, he will re-smoke the choke point. Look at the confidence of Tarik. He can use that smoke as a wall, as a shield, and reposition. What is he going to do, though? If that smoke starts to disappear and there's still no response from Immortals, then he's going to be in an awkward situation. He may be stuck at close range.
Scope is heard, and zews, he's going to understand what's going on. Already trying to spray for the smoke, and look at this, like dominoes, players falling here for Optic as Henny manages to create some openings up into the A-bomb side, but NAF is creeping on by. He's got to find a really sneaky engagement. Oh, can't quite find the first player, and the spray transfer not working out for him onto Lucas. And bomb will go down. So it looks like finally Immortals are going to be able to take themselves into a very favorable situation. They should be able to easily close the round from this point onwards. Stanislaw's main prerogative here is just to deal some damage, try to remove some weapons from the hands of the remainder of Immortals in this round, as he looks for the angles, of which there are many on train on the A-bomb sites. And just holding there, looking for any sneaky exits potentially with this off angle. But Immortals have a good understanding of where is safe. Doesn't matter, Henny, one of the fastest guns in the West, able to take down Stanislaw in the end, and that's going to be the first round on the board to Immortals. Welcome to the scoreboard.
I do wonder what I wonder what the guys think of Tarik's positioning there, going close around the smoke with the AWP, unless he's looking to, I guess he's ultimately looking to push through the smoke in that situation, because otherwise it just leaves him vulnerable and exposed, as the sound of his scope did in that situation. Anyway, it's 5-1. We'll see if Optic can reset the Immortals side, or if Immortals can get some consecutive rounds going. Yesterday was a day with a few late recoveries in halves. By no means is this half won by Optic just yet. However, this round might be double AWP, stereo AWP frags coming in from the 2 snipers. NAF and mixwell on this occasion.
Yeah, not much to work with for Immortals. Looking to make something happen on Ali, of which, there's 2 players there. The bomb is just sitting there in the white holes at the moment. Felps picks up a kill towards B, and actually that's an open B bomb site, and the rotation from Optic comes in because they really feel the weakness there, as that was the only player they had on the site. So all of a sudden this reaction creates a lot of space for Immortals, but a very key factor here is Tarik, who's crept himself into a very forward position. He may not know the bomb is actually there. I'm not sure if he's seen it. However, he's going to have the perfect angle on these 2 players. And Lucas will be able to make the frag happen. They can collect the bomb now, and there's actually a round that's salvageable here for Immortals.
That's absolutely crazy. We have felps, who is in a nasty position. Will he hear the CTs though? Are they making noise coming from CT? 2. Nafly. Oh no! Playing the information play, maybe. He'll get traded though, will Nafly, so may work out for Immortals after all. They've got to be careful though, because mixwell's surely holding angles with that AWP. So if boltz goes for a timing peek, has to get lucky. mixwell throwing some grenades, and now it's mixwell alone versus 2. See Lucas rotating, boltz still on the site for the time being. mixwell, he might have to go for a no-scope in this situation. If he scopes, they'll know where he is immediately. boltz is going to appear and disappear just as quickly. Will he go for the Ninja Diffuse, waiting for somebody to peek, but he's going to have to commit to this. Lucas, can he find a frag? Is he going to peek? Ooh, he's not going to be able to do it. Just a bit to the right. And mixwell steals a round away.
That's what mixwell does on train. That's where we really started to see him, and his first big performances with Optic was these insane clutches on train. Beautiful play here. He knew where boltz was. He could see the shadow, gave the game away. You can see it there just a little bit, and that was enough for mixwell to have the advantage there to get the first frag, and a simple smoke defuse to finish it all off. Lovely stuff there, and a brutal reality for Immortals after only winning just one round to lose one again, have that bonus reset. Now it's going to be desperate times. They do have tools to work with though, a Tech 9, but AK's for everybody else, and a good chunk of grenades to go with that. And what will be the call here for Immortals? There's many options actually for them. If they wanted to try to fake one of the bomb sites or just run a set piece on either B or A, they have the amount of utility that's required to do that. Can see that the Immortals are still just poking for information here. felps is looking to see if there's anyone in a close vicinity to him, in proximity to his position. And there's actually 3 players towards B for Optic with limited information. So this is essentially Optic making a read, and they haven't really got that much information to do it with. So it's a bit of a risk from that sense. And look at how Immortals are just holding right now. It's very interesting to see how defensively Immortals are playing in a lot of these rounds, waiting for something crazy from Optic.
Maybe waiting for Optic to hang themselves. Tarik did go close with the AWP in a previous round. He was playing close to Electric Box on his own, actually. He's the only man with the SMG. So Rush is looking towards main, further away now, playing the range game. felps moving quietly on the high ground, but will he expect the player below him, behind him now? Stanislaw playing the information game. felps goes down eventually, but the Ts are moving into A. Still 2 players for the CTs over towards Ivy. Again, Rush in this important position. He can stop the plant from going down. There goes Henny though, now his position is known. Can the bomb go down? It has to, there are 10 seconds left.
Yeah, really nice round so far from Immortals. Trying to finish it off with a, not enough really in the way of player numbers. Let's see if the positioning will work out with that bomb ticking away. Lucas really in a bit of a tough spot because there's CTs all around him. 3 in connector though, that's really awkward there for Optic. They need to bust out of that choke point and start spreading onto the bomb site. And then slowly but surely they'll start to do that. Nice boost coming in there, but Lucas will respond quite well. And Immortals are feeling the pressure. Just boltz, great damage there. They line up for him, but it's mixwell who will manage to find the finishing kill. Is there time though? Just enough for mixwell to close down the defuse. Really cool round from Immortals and how they played that, how they set it up. But Optic, they had too many men.
That was so close. One more bullet, NAF goes down as well, and then they're in a 1 versus 1. Facing nade in the hands. It's a familiar story for many of us players. 7-1 for Optic. Some of these rounds going down to the wire, but they keep going in the corner of the USA side, with a touch of Europe. Immortals just a 1 round on the board. Got the 2 UMPs onto Tarik and Nafly. And this is not necessarily an anti-eco choice because they are quite lacking in money. We've got 2 players of $1,000 and the others have a lot less than that. So this is a stretch in the Optic economy. Now, this is a round where Immortals haven't invested a hell of a lot. They've only got 2 players of Kevlar. So, this, I mean, the economy is in an interesting place, but the weaponry isn't in an interesting place for Immortals to open this round up, really. Might just be going for a bomb plant in this situation. But again, you've got Tarik playing up close around E-box or electric box, lots of wires in that box.
So it's time. They start to fly, start to soar through the sky. And that's going to be the tell here for Optic. Tarik picks up 1 kill. Is there going to be much more damage here from Immortals other than just that kill onto Tarik, that trade onto Tarik? Well, they'll find the kill onto mixwell as also in boltz. He's going to pick up an AWP. Things getting a little bit dangerous here. Could be a lot of additional damage to the economy of Optic if they are not careful right now. And boltz, they have a relative understanding of where his position will be, but the jump gives it away. Nice picks Rush in midair there as he jumps to the side, and boltz is going to just turn tail and run and save that AWP. That is a really nice pickup. He's going to take the AWP away, kill 3 players in this round with very limited stock. Limited in the way of the arsenal that they were carrying into that round. And
no one had the money to buy an AWP in this round for the Ts. So that is a very important pickup from boltz, which goes to felps rather than Henny. I do wonder if this is a spawn thing. He may have the forward most spawn. He's going for the peek towards connector, which is unfavorable for the T side. The CTs do get there first, but they don't always go for the peek. So indeed, it was a spawn play. He's dropped the AWP to Henny. You can see similar plays on Cash as well, be it towards B on the CT side or towards mid on the T side. Again, we've got Optic focusing 4 players in the A side. Pretty standard stuff. mixwell will be rotating around the connector area. Perhaps ideally you'd want somebody with an AWP there to look on the high ground, so Stanislaw up front rather, can focus on the low. On this occasion though, Optic's AWP has been lost and is in the hands of Henny.
So another very slow round from Immortals. Baiting Optic to make a move. A lot of teams will try to put pressure, more considered pressure in certain spots. And Ali is typically one of those spots where you'll have 2 or 3 players, particularly, maybe at the start of a round, where you can try to throw in ace, try to get a tactical advantage to deposition the CT AWPer who might be there, or Rifler that might be there, and gain some positioning, maybe get into a fragging situation. There's lots of ways that tactically you can gain edges, which could amount to a frag. But Immortals are just very slow until there's 25 seconds left. That's when they're going to go in for a straight-up yard rush. Rush is close, and he's ready, but it's not going to be enough.
13 seconds. That bomb has to go down. It's as simple as that. Rotating around now, perhaps the safe way. The Stanislaw, though, is close to the smoke. Can he find a kill? mixwell getting taken down on the high ground. Down goes Stanislaw as well. Bomb is planted. That could have been the round, but it won't be. 4 versus 1, and there's not much NAF can do in that situation. Another round on the board for Immortals. And again, we noted the money situation on the CT side. Now it has problems. Scores 8-2 at the moment. It's been a dominating half so far. But again, this could still end 8-7. Immortals have all the chance in the world to recover from this now.
I do like when teams, have a slow default style, because I think it's much more impactful going from a slow default to and then you're, putting in your really fast round here or there, as opposed to having the opposite, where you have generally like a medium or fast pace generally, and then you go to like a really slow pace. I think it's much easier to catch teams off guard if slow is the default kind of timing that you're working with, and that's what Immortals have been doing to Optic. That said, they only have 2 rounds of 10 so far, and Stanislaw, he's going to find himself a quick AK there as he runs up the ladder. Speaking of timing, perfect timing there from Stanislaw to make that play, and very low risk too. He wasn't really carrying anything apart from a P250, so very nicely done by Stanislaw, and that's going to make Immortals a little bit unhappy. They do have plenty of time though. But now is the the time to come together to coordinate and push in with some grenades here. They can't afford to lose another player before they gain some map control.
Look at that. Optic completely abandoned the B bomb site in order for Tarik to boost mixwell in connector. So it seems they have hard reads as to what Immortals are going to be up to here. NAF repositioning, running distraction now, but he's got boltz. Nasty surprise for him. Immortals 35 seconds left on the clock, and up close around those corners can draw problems. That boost might be the big play there. mixwell though, he's heavily tagged, they know where he is. But time is running out, too many places. 3 versus 1 all of a sudden. Those are 2 humongous frags, because that's looking really awkward for Immortals. 3 players tagged, but they finally take the round. That must have been the hairs on their backs must have been on end then, because that did not look pretty.
And it's a timely resurgence from Immortals. And they've been working hard for a lot of these rounds. A lot of them have been going down to the wire, and we can see the result of that, just keeping Optic's economy in check. They don't have to deal with too many buy rounds when they finally find their winning ways. And we got a bit of a push from Stanislaw. You're going to go Kevlar on the team, is just walking up. Oh no! No, they have nades in their hands. That's 2 players dead. And again, he steals an AK away. He gets the information. They know where the bomb is. This is catastrophic.
That is a massive problem for Immortals, which reminds me of something that I'll come back to later. Lucas, exposed, the entire site's going down. Oh man, they've got no tools. They've got nothing, pots and pans. But now they've picked up 2 AKs. And there's one disappearing from NAF. So Optic choosing not to hold the bomb, rather hold the bomb sites to have more angles available to them. And it will take boltz. He's got to clear all these corners one by one. And when he gets to the site, if he chooses to try and plant, he's still got a minute on the clock. He needs to try and identify where the CTs might pop out from. Probably go for a fake. He is in a lot of trouble. And let's not forget, also we've got NAF line connector. Even if he makes a sound, NAF line can quickly pop out from connector and shoot him in the face from this position. And the player below him, I think, is looking directly for him. He could find an off angle though if he looks back towards there. Is he going to look at the angle though? He spots, surely he spots mixwell. There's one. Oh no, he's got a bomb out. No, the deagle. I thought he would have shown on the radar there, but perhaps not. That is a horrible round lost. And it reminds me of Titan in the existence days. There were a few games of Cash where they'd be behind a smoke in main, all lining up tons of smokes for some mad complicated execute, and then somebody would flank them and just kill everyone.
Yep, it's not a good look. It's really not a good look.
And there's an example, sorry, Dan, that the CTs get to connector faster than the Ts get to main, so that is going to be a common occurrence if you keep trying to go for that peak.
It's just at the point when they were starting to come back into this and Optic rear their teeth, or show their teeth again. Mixwell close. That's a really, but potentially could have been much nicer, that grenade, but some decent damage done. Fluffs the pop flash a little bit there. I think he wanted to go through the smoke with it. Now is, after the first one, kind of gave up the idea as what he's trying to do, and Immortals are quite aware that there could be a player close to him, and they're looking for it right there. Way too telegraphed. Perhaps Mixwell should have aborted the play after the first fluffed pop flash attempt, and now life gets hard for Optic, being a man down. And there's so much time here for Immortals that they can try to abuse the fact that Optic are a man down, that there are only 3 players. You know, often teams are going to be much lighter on the B defense because B is the retake bomb site, whereas A is very much not the retake bomb site. If you're the CTs, it's much more difficult to retake A. So typically CT teams will actually stack A in this kind of situation, as we can see evident in this example. To A here with boltz running distraction towards B, and again this is awesome because it plays upon the fears of the CTs, and their fear is like, we've left B open. If we hit presence on B, we better rotate there, because that is our, again, that's the thing we're most worried about. And Immortals capitalize. They walk into the A bomb site.
Yeah, but Optic are non-believers. Nafly is still looking at main from Popdog, and Rush is staying on the A site. So Optic are having a great read of the situation. 8 seconds left for boltz to find 3 people. He must die in that situation, and he will.
That was really nice. Despite all the movement from Optic with 3 players, they managed to find a really tight defense there. That is, that's very cool.
They're in the Matrix, Dan. Optic all of a sudden are in the Matrix.
Yeah, they're having an amazing game. And it just the 2 moments where Stanislaw finds perfect timings for offense with just like a P250 or a CZ, that is just amazing that has gone well for him every time. And you can see that Immortals are really struggling at this point. Back to the P250s, 1 deagle, nothing else. They're going to try to get a bomb down at the very least for additional money in that last round of the first half.
Well, here it comes. Immortals getting straight clothesline towards B. However, an M4 is being picked up. 3-man rotation. And they're not going to commit into the B bomb site. I feel like they must know that it would be a sentence delivered by themselves. They will use the time afforded to them and try to squeeze out every edge possible from this round. Felps got to be careful there. When mixwell was close to main, you know, it seems Optic really want to turn up the aggression here, but that's not a true a blind spot, as you can see. And also, I believe this is correct, but don't quote me on it. I think if he was on the opposite side, like that corner on Inferno going into apps, if the corner was on his left side rather than his right, then he would have had a better time of things. Although he was closer to the corner than his opponent. 2 AWPs and an AK for Optic to try and stop Immortals. So far, so good. Immortals have done reasonable work, all things considered, in this round. Henny getting peppered a little bit. 20 seconds. If he rotated and somebody was a Popdog, they'd hear him in this position. They did what they could with what they had, but it wasn't enough in the end. We move into the last round. Can they get a 4th round on the board? Last round of the first half, that is.
Yeah, this is a beautiful map of train so far from Optic. And honestly, I feel like this is probably the best map for Optic from some of the games that I've seen. They find so much comfort here, and you see so many crazy plays from mixwell. If everything is going wrong, he is able to actually step up and deliver for them. They have a lot of solutions on this map. We haven't even seen the second half yet, their T side, and already it's starting to be a situation where it might be we might not even see many T rounds from them because they can have such a lead potentially if they close down number 12, get that on the board. Immortals, well, they have a different approach. At the moment, they just set up for a set piece onto the A bomb site, or at least grenades to try to potentially go for a bit of a fake, but with no presence towards secret, it's unlikely that we'll see the fake into B. That said as well, the player on Ali is very far back considering that the grenades are going in just now. And here it is. Immortals make their way forwards into Mixwell's reticle. Down goes Lucas. Looking pretty laboured, this effort into the bomb site. There are kills being made, ground is being gained slowly but surely, but now the bomb is on the floor in a precarious position. It's going to be very tough now. Just Zeus left from Ali. His approach perhaps a bit too slow. And that's going to be a very hard clutch for him to make now.
That nade landed in a basket that was on his head. 37 HP. And no vision required. Mixwell will take him down. That's a brutal, monstrous half coming out from Optic. Mixwell up there as per usual.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love how active and aggressive the CT side was from Optic.
At the same time, I think there's a lot of things that Immortals could have added to their play. I think there's a lot of stuff that was quite basic. For example, again, from Immortals, one thing we didn't really see much of was this extended tactical exchange on Ali, where you can try to get an advantage, and then after that, even if you go down a man or whatever, you then go for the set piece. Instead of just a straight-up set piece, there's a lot more space for them to try to work or edges for them to try to gain on the map before they then go back towards that set piece, as they did in that last round onto the A bomb site. And you can see also Zeus kind of suffered from the fact that they had no presence earlier in the round on Ali. He suffered from it. He then had to make the play by himself. You know, that can take some time, and you can see that when he finally came into the Ali engagement, he was a little bit too slow, and he couldn't split the defense because his coordination was off with the rest of the team for Immortals when they were coming into the yard. So in that sense, Immortals' defense was made easier by the fact that the split was not coordinated effectively. So Optic, they move in with a 12-3 advantage into this T side, and this is where they get to dictate the pace now.
Yeah, I think that's likely. I don't think we'll see the aggression from Immortal CT side that we saw from Optic. It could go for something funky, but it's better to play from their own playbook, which may not dictate that. Henny going for the information play. This doesn't mean that they're not going towards B, though. As you can see, he is somewhat blind to the information other than the actual site push itself. So they can't really rotate too far away because they don't have sufficient information in that regard. Optic looking for a slow play in this round. Rush moving out of the pot dog area, up the ladder. Some shoulder picking going on. There it is. Henny ready and waiting. It's going to get dinked immediately. 3 HP. He needs to go down that ladder very carefully indeed.
I was afraid.
Let's not forget the time we saw somebody fall off that ladder with a negative, no less, after a misbuy in spawn and then die. That was quite spectacular. 50 seconds left. This is a very slow pistol round.
Well, if you're falling with a negative, I expect the full damage to be 10 times because that gun is heavy. It's huge.
Gravity kills down.
Gravity is a cruel mistress. Right, there's the first smoke grenade thrown there by Tarik, and that will signal the push into the site. But they are getting tagged all over the place. Still, however, making frags at these vast distances whilst running forwards with these Glocks of theirs. Optic not looking too shabby there. Finally, a bit of a response coming in from Immortals. There's only 15 seconds to plant the bomb, but the frags are being made. The space is being created for them to do so. And there it is. The bomb now down. Zeus managing to get himself in a 1 versus 1, and just with a bit of a flurry of shots, is able to find himself a quick and final end to NAF, bringing about the defuse. And Immortals are going to be a little bit safe, just for 1 round at least.
Safe for 1 round. That is a horrible compliment. I don't even know if it's a compliment, but Their situation sucks, that's for sure. They have 1/3 the score of Optic, but they have more of the guns. We'll see if Optic have a plan in mind. We saw some nice force buy rounds yesterday. What do Optic having installed? 2 smokes, 2 flashes. Henny has got the range. He's taken some damage, however. In terms of deep plays towards B, he's alone. Zeus can come in for support. It was actually here we saw it from CLG. The smoke upper and the smoke lower. But Optic will just rain in like lemmings with guns. This should afford them a bomb plant. The UMP gets taken down by the nade. That may slow things down. The Molotov can't stop the plants, but it may help with the clearance. I think NAF is going for... I'm not sure if he was just checking for a flank or wanting to go for one, but now he's the last man standing.
The plant really makes a difference too, because now they should actually be able to afford an AWP, I think. Maybe AWP with no Kevlar, but they should be able to get an AWP on one of the players, which, you know, this... When you're talking about a team which has both mixwell and Tarik on it, that's definitely going to be pretty nice. And in fact, any one of these players, I think, could afford an AWP with no armor. Mixwell could get one. Is he going to do it? No. Decides to go for the AK, full grenade setup. Now, this is really cool because with this kind of setup, you can take less focus on the pick-based style, which is going to be less utility intensive, and more about, okay, we've got the AWP, get him into angles. But I'm going to have to hold that fort right now because Tarik's just going to go straight in and he will find a pick quickly with the AK. Has to back away. The nade's barely almost able to finish him off, but not quite. And it's going to be now a 4 versus 3 here as Optic are finding picks all over the place. They put the pace on high and they haven't used that much utility just yet. This is a really interesting spot because they have so much time left and they've taken down 2 CTs. This is every CT size nightmare on train.
Henny goes down. He can't hold the A site. He can't hold a pop dog. 2 versus 4. Rush and Tarik are tagged though, so if Immortals choose to go for this, if Zeus sees some lines, he's got line of sight there. If he saw a player and was able to take one down, then maybe they go for it. boltz is still over towards Ivy actually, so again, if they find a pick early, they both have kits, then maybe they choose to push. But as that clock continues to tick, surely they will end up going for the save. And indeed, that appears to be the case. 13-5. Zeus doing his best to find safe passage. Just about make it, but there's still a lot of ticking to do. So perhaps they will be hunted. Either way, things looking dire for Immortals at the moment. It might be in a position to drop some guns, but with only 2 players alive, maybe 1 player on a 5-7.
Yeah, it's nice. It's something, I guess. Keeping those 2 guns alive, it will allow them to have more options moving forwards. Some drops can be made, so they can actually have a respectable look into this round.
Oh, there we go. 5 rifles.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, indeed. It is quite nice. They even have some kits. They've got some helmets, though they are not required. And they have themselves, you know, a decent selection of grenades. So let's have a look and see how Optic managed Ali here, because this is more what I was talking about. You can see 3 players pressuring Ali with all the grenades here. Now they may decide to just try to play it for the frag, play it for the pick, and then go backwards and try to change how the round looks, or they might just go for the triple-pronged attack. Remains to be seen so far. There's no AWP to help felps out in this position, and now he's down to 19 health. So it's a really tough look for him, and things will slow down now the smoke has been deployed. But again, look at the utility that's been expended as a cost of this aggression, this initial poking from Optic. Now Immortals have they have 2 flashbangs left and an incendiary and a smoke. That's it. So the job has been done from that perspective from Optic.
Boom. Stanislaw goes down in main. That's going to cause a reaction from Optic towards Ivy, and a blind felps will get taken down. Bombs dropped as well though. What can the CTs do with this information? We've got another player pushing through main. He's going to get taken down. There goes NAF as well. But mixwell once again with 2 fast frags. That Molotov could put an end to him. If that spreads, he's going to be dead. Zeus will put him out of his misery. Immortals get around back. Again, they don't survive with many players. Optic can go for the force in this situation. And indeed, they will. They're going to go for the buy, keep the pressure up on the Immortals side, who can't really stand for it. If they lose one round, they may be done so.
And the scout comes out onto mixwell, which is going to be an interesting little feature of this round. Definitely a lot of danger here when it comes to dealing with Optic. And, you know, even though they don't have the AWP, they've got a Tech-9 there, there is still, of course, a lot of danger. Zeus, I mentioned before, he is a player to look out for, how he tends to anchor the B-bomb site often for Immortals. Now, he's actually got a bit of a buddy going on over there. He's got boltz, who's helping him out a bit further back in the B yard. So they're playing retake, basically. They can allow the bomb to go down. They're fine with that. They just want to make sure that these Ts never reach that choke point. And the rotation can come in, but it doesn't even matter. Zeus, he manages to find himself a spray. That takes down the bomber. The bomb might not even go down. It's a free rotation. Zeus moves forwards with the USP. He is not done just yet. And this is just terrible for Optic.
Down but not out are Immortals. 3 players alive. Stanislaw needs to get more damage in now, especially now that NAF has been taken down. And there goes Stanislaw as well. Made coleslaw out of Stanislaw there.
Zeus is serious. He's a serious man.
He's an angry coach.
He is very angry.
He's angry, he's enraged. So, 6 rounds now between the two sides. The road to recovery is long for Immortals, but by no means is it over. Optic down to pistols. Stanislaw spoken a flash. They'll be looking for a bomb plant. Might be the standard smoke towards connector on the B-bomb site that we might see. Although they appear to be charging towards the pop dog area, so it's going to be a very different kind of gauntlet. But Lucas is in a good position on the high ground through the glass. Can he get anything done? Henny going close, not going to work out for him. That might be a bonus for the T side. However, 3 fast kills for Immortals say otherwise. Rush behind the smoke. Can he get the bomb down? Ooh, running out of bullets, Lucas, but he'll finish him off with the pistol. Lucas wanted to stop the plant there, but was more focused on the supports for the plant. Again, Immortals not really in a position to lose more players.
Yeah, they definitely are in that spot where they should not care about the bombs going down. They can allow, if it's safer to allow the bomb to go down and have more players survive the round to keep their money up, then that's definitely what they should be doing. And we're going to see the AWP onto Henny, and perhaps salvation can be there. We'll have to see how that works out. Also, due to the fact that Optic might play a round in which Henny can't do very much. We'll have to see what they choose strategically. What we can note early on in this round is that they haven't gone for any alley pressure early on. And alley pressure is always very nice because you can, by having alley pressure, you can actually force the forward defenders for the CT side, who could be around E-box or the first train out of T-main. You could force them back so that you can have an easier entrance into the A-bomb site later on in the round.
Force them back.
And that said, naturally, Immortals are going to fall back into a more passive setup anyway. So this is going to be interesting because now Optic, they're just going to go without any real presence or pressure anywhere, straight up set piece onto B.
boltz is on the site. Zeus is not far behind. See if boltz can punish now. We've got some unexpected angles here. Tarik's heavily tagged as well. Down he goes. Bomb's in a nasty place. boltz will go down, but can his team get in position to stop the bomb being picked up? More smokes coming in. There's mixwell with the bomb. Ooh, just about surviving. Stuck on the site now. And indeed, he can plant the bomb in the middle of the train. So that will do. But if he goes for another peek, he may be breathing his last breath in this round. Lucas on the high ground will be traded by mixwell, still surviving with 22 HP. And both CTs are heavily tagged as well. Now it's mixwell alone, doing what he can. Down goes felps, 1 versus 1. Does he know where Henny is, though? Who has the advantage? Henny walking on the high ground, but eventually he's going to have to come back down again. He's got an AWP as well, so if mixwell doesn't peek, this could get awkward for him. He's running out of time to do this. Flashbang misses. Mixwell has the advantage, the sound advantage now, and he will shoot Henny straight in the face and take the AWP in kind.
Mixwell can always count him for the clutch. 27 kills for him, 13 deaths. Beautiful 1 versus 1 there. Obviously, Henny just didn't have the time there, gave away the sound cues as he had to rush. And, well, a bullet to the head. And Optic now 2 rounds away from closing it down on map 1, on train, on their choice, on their strength. And speaking of strength, we've got a P90 out on NAF, which is going to be fun. UMP for Tarik, a bit of a mixed bag there, but the AWP will be on mixwell, which is one of the more important things, more important factors in this round. And looks like they may go with a delayed A rush as they set up the grenades here, and in they go.
Execution, wall of smokes. We've got 5 smokes in the A bomb site now. Henny is going to spray through. Lucas putting in work as well. 2 kill for Lucas. Henny finally gets taken down. Lucas still around the E-box, but there's only mixwell remaining. There are 4 Brazilians here, and an AWP is waiting for them, doing what he can with the AK. And that pickup of the AK may stop the AWP from being picked up. No, it won't. Lucas finds it in the carnage, in the smoke, in the bodies strewn all over the place. 14-9, and again, Optic, their money's been put in a crap situation, Dan. It's not even terrible, it's just crap.
It's definitely a bit of an awkward position to be in. Well, we got a couple AKs out. Rush and NAF will be handling those. Some Deagles as well. It's always a chance. Sometimes you just can't do anything against the 1Deags. Sometimes you just have to accept them. Accept it. That is the reality. And
just take it in the face.
It's taken out of your hands. You're powerless.
You're going to take it in the face, and you're going to like it.
It's one way to put it. So I have to see if that's going to be the reality here for Optic, if they can find a way to get into some of those situations. Train is a good map for it, actually, especially if you can get into the train yard. And it looks like Tarik's going to find himself in the train yard, not even a 1D. Must be spraying that for days there. Unloading the clip onto face of Felps. Success. Henny misses a shot. Able to recover, however, with the pistol, but damage is being done here. Down to a 1 versus 3. Mixwell in the clutch. He's got no armor, and he's got CTs all over the place. That's going to be the round for Immortals, and they claw it back. But still, 6 to go for them to bring this into a victory. They can't put a foot wrong unless they are going to be, well, happy playing in overtime. I don't think anyone's ever really happy to play in overtime. So it's going to have to be 6 rounds in a row. Let's see if they can do it. They have the economic edge moving into this one, so that plays in their favor. All the incendiaries, all the fire.
Stanislaw's made his way basically into the middle of the A site, and all the running down Ivy may run distractions. Stanislaw could do some big damage here, and indeed he will take down Henny, who will get traded straight back. 2 players remaining in this quick carnage. The bomb is down. boltz moving back. He doesn't want to get one tap by P250. Mixwell had a nice gun and has nothing now. It's all been taken away. What can Rush do? They will hear him being tagged by the flames. No double peek coming out, however. Just the 1 versus 1. There's another one. But the carnage has come to a close. AWP rescued once again. Now Immortals' money's in a slightly better position, but in this round, for example, if Optic get to match point, then Immortals are going to be lacking.
Lacking indeed. I would like to see a bit of aggression from Immortals. It would be quite fun. I don't think they've really done much of that. We saw it quite often from Optic here or there, which did definitely justify Immortals' slow approach from the T side. And there you go. We're going to have a bit of a pop flash play for some, just a little bit of a poke there, aggressive poke from Felps. Sees the information, no pressure towards Ali. Gives them a bit of a tell. They could move up the train yard if they want. They could relieve the Ali defender, and he could play a position that's more helpful towards the train yard, and so that's going to be the case. But we have, look at this, Tarik just walking forwards there, attacking Felps, who is the guardian of Ali, and it's going to be frags both ways here as the carnage ensues, as the chaos continues on this A bomb site. But the bomb cannot make its way to the bomb train, which puts Optic in a very poor position. They've got a minute to play with, and they're going to have to make the fast call, and the fast call will be, let's hit B, and, well, that's going to allow them to plant the bomb here, so there's going to be a chance.
Default plant. They don't have the personnel to go for the side plant, which the likes of Astralis will do when they have opportunity to do that. Does allow the bomb to get planted, defended rather, from both ends of the bomb site. Now, this is tricky for Immortals because Henny and Felps have next to no health. So who's the point man in this situation? Henny's going to go first. That's the information found. zews cannot deliver for his side. Felps versus 2. He doesn't have a kit. There must be one on the floor, surely. But I think time has run out. He picks up a gun. That's going to be a sound cue. He may not survive. He will not survive. Rush ready and waiting. Match point for Optic. And indeed, Dan, Immortals will be lacking.
They are left wanting. We've only got 2 players really who could have a decent buy. And that is a sad reality. You would expect some aggression here from Immortals to maybe try to mitigate the disadvantage that they have and try to get an early man advantage with the element of surprise. But Optic, will they be looking for that? It's something that they should be looking for, that they should be cognizant of, but it remains to be seen. We've got Rush looking for some control of the secret area there. And this is a good way to start the round for Optic. Just make sure that you can get as much information as possible to put the pieces together as to how Immortals are likely playing the round. And there you go, a bit of info there from felps. Sees the pressure on Ali. And Optic, they could very well get a kill here before moving in. They still have another good, good 20, 30 seconds left on the clock here for them to try to make that happen. And there you go. mixwell picks up the kill onto felps. And now Optic start to move towards A. But as they do that, Immortals start the pressure. Zeus, he's going to come in like Jaws.
Oh, but there's a main push as well. They're pushing all over the place. Tarik's waiting for it. There's still time for Optic, but surely we're getting to the kind of time where they start to move towards the site.
Wow.
Okay, running into main first on his own with his knife out. Maybe not the best idea. 2 versus 2 though. There's still time for Optic to recover, and only one of these 2 Immortals players has a rifle.
It's becoming really awkward now at this position. Can NAF get the peak? He will. boltz will fall, leaving it onto the shoulders of Zeus. And he's going to be able to find where both players are. That's actually a really big win for Zeus in this position, but he can't close down the kill. It will be mixwell instead, who will finish this map with 31 kills. Great performance from him and Stanislaw as well, as you can see on the scoreboard there. And it will be Optic winning Train, as I think some would have certainly expected. They've shown so much strength on Train in the past. I certainly am not surprised. I'm just happy to see that they're able to perform against the likes of Immortals, and they definitely, I think, outclassed Immortals in quite a few avenues of a CS on Train.
It was a really nice CT side from Optic. They were very active on their CT side, playing close to main, which you don't see from too many teams very often. And again, it seems to be a really good map for mixwell, who has he put up big numbers. But we'll hear more from the analyst after the break. See you back here soon.